There is an absolutely massive sale going on for the holiday season on the Quest Game Store. That means it's only running through January 2nd, but it is a ton of games, as you can see here. Meta's trying to advertise, especially like Assassin's Creed Nexus is on sale, but there's a couple things to keep in mind about this sale. A lot of games 40% off, 30% off. If anything is less than 25% off, most likely that's actually not worth buying on a sale, and that's more worth buying through a friend's referral code. We have a whole spot in our Discord server where you can request referral codes from people on there. They're pretty quick to get them to you, and that basically saves you 25% on any game. If you don't know how the program works, I'll leave a link to a video at the end of this to show you all about that. But basically, this sale has tons of the games like Red Matter 2, 40% off, and that's probably the best looking game on the Quest 3 there is. Piano Vision, which is a mixed reality piano teaching app, is only on a 10% sale, but because that's less than $10, you can't use a referral code on it, so that would save you $1. Espire 2, a stealth game that has a really cool mixed reality mode where you're actually fighting people who are trying to invade your real life house, or even The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2. I'll leave links in the comments and description to the full sale. Tons of different games to check out. Check out the sale while it's still going on. Speaking of mixed reality, one of the games that's known for its mixed reality mode has actually jumped into the top sellers on the Quest Store. Drop Dead: The Cabin has a home invasion mode that lets you bring zombies and monsters into your actual home. They're busting through windows and doors and coming into your play space while you fight them off. It actually made the top selling list, the editor's choice list, and it's one of the games on sale for 32% off, bringing it down to $16.99 from $24.99. The mixed reality mode came very early with the Quest 3 coming out, and with that, players were warned this is a free additional mode alongside the game, but there was going to be some growing pains while the new mode was figured out. They've added tons of updates since then, including enhancing the anchoring points, the window scaling, and more room setup guidance to help people get their room set up the right way. The tricky thing about mixed reality we're seeing is that a lot of times it's really dependent on having the right play space set up with your actual meta setup, even more so than how the game sets up the room after that. If you tried it before and you had any trouble in the mixed reality mode, I'd say go back now that they've enhanced it, or if you're interested in the game, it is on a good sale right now. It's cool, but it's pretty scary when the stuff is in your actual home with you, and it really is a great way to show mixed reality off to friends. But a big thank you for the developers of Drop Dead: The Cabin bringing us a mixed reality mode that we can show people this early in the game, and thanks to them for sponsoring today's news. Into the Radius may have been one of my personal VR game of the years, and we reported before that Into the Radius 2 is coming. Now we know that they've confirmed a 4-player co-op this round. There was no co-op in the original Into the Radius, and now up to 4 players are going to be playing it, first trying it in Steam Early Access in 2024. And I gotta say, so far some of these screenshots that we're seeing for the second game look really promising with great detail in the graphics. Still that same environment that we're used to in the Radius with anomalies and everything else. I personally am super excited about this game, although we are going to be waiting a while. It sounds like Early Access is coming in 2024, but they're targeting a full release sometime in late 2025. And as we saw, the original version came out in 2020 on PC, but then didn't make it to Quest until 2022. Hopefully with the power of the Quest 3, we'll be seeing it sooner on the Quest side though, because playing this thing wirelessly with that freedom felt so immersive to me. I loved Into the Radius. A lot of you like giveaways on this channel, and there's one out there going on that's kind of weird. So there's a game coming to VR called Brazen Blaze that's looking to be like the Smash Brothers of VR. 3v3 smacking, shooting, fighting game. So if you want to register for the open beta of this game, registration opened on December 19th and closes on January 6th. And the company is going to give away 5 tickets to people that registered for that beta to T-Pain's virtual concert in the Amaze VR app. Then the open beta itself is going to run from only February 5th to February 12th of 2024, so just a week. In addition to the possible T-Pain VR tickets, people who sign up for the beta can also get some in-game currency, other exclusive items at launch. Interesting and odd. We'll leave a link to that. We'll also leave a link to our current Quest 3 giveaway in case you don't know that's going on down below. T-Pain VR tickets. It's funny, T-Pain was actually at that show in Atlanta we were just at, randomly doing some gamer stuff there. When Breachers first launched into beta, it took over the VR scene because it brought a 5v5 style of combat that hadn't been seen yet. Whether you're blowing open windows with C4, pushing your way into the buildings, the open beta being free also got tons of people to try it back then. Post-launch, the game's still been very successful with its bomb defusal and control point game modes, and now they're launching another new level. Arctic is another map being added. This is actually the second map since launch that has been brought out. And not only does this take you to a snow-covered wintry environment where you're fighting, it actually adds some more lore to the game. The trailer talks about how there's distinctive floors down below in the Crystal Caves, which is kind of funny because that's a big thing in Gorilla Tag, the Crystal Caves. But anyways, these crystals are extracted and processed, and these are actually used for some of the cloaking technology seen in the game. There's another floor of the laboratory where this work happens. And then the third floor, they call it about a relaxed environment where the base's personnel can unwind. You can even see some board games and stuff laying around in the trailer. One game there looks suspiciously familiar if you're into board games. If you haven't checked out Breachers, it's also on that sale we mentioned, and it's got a really high rating at about a 4.7 rating with a lot of positive reviews. Definitely a cool game worth checking out. The game Swarm on Quest was known as the Spider-Man with Guns. Coming out back in 2021, it has still about a 4.7 rating with over 2,600 ratings. Now, Greensky Games is going for a number 2, Swarm 2. Swarm 2 is confirmed to be coming, and the developer is advertising that Swarm 2 is basically going to be developed by taking all of the feedback they've gotten over the years about Swarm 1 and developing the game the way the players want to play it. The game is shooting for a launch of March 2024, and they're saying the new game is going to have new roguelike progression system, which is actually going to let players upgrade their skills and even experiment with different perks. Bigger maps, the same grappling maneuvering system people liked, but now with even more precise control. If you're interested, there is a way to pre-order it for the discounted price, putting it down to $22, which is 12% off. Although, as we mentioned before, obviously the better option is usually to wait till it launches and then get a referral code. Again, watch for that link at the end of the video that'll tell you more about those if you don't know what those are. We already told you Resident Evil 4 on PSVR 2 got its full VR mode of the game, and I got to play some before we left for Atlanta and was absolutely amazed, and now I just want to keep playing that because I'm a big RE4 lover. Well, if you happen to have the PSVR 2, which I know is a select division of our audience, there is a free demo to check out now. So if somehow you missed that, or you're uncertain if you want to go buy that Resident Evil 4 remake game and do that, definitely check out the demo, but I think you'll be convinced pretty quickly to get it if you already own a PSVR 2. That's a lot going on in the gaming world out there of that side of VR, and lots more to come. We got more through the holidays. I'll leave that link up here I told you about that tells you about those Quest referral codes in case you're wondering how you can save basically 25% on any game. There's a few more stipulations that have changed, but we'll talk about those again in a future video. Thank you, and I will see you in another reality.